at all levels and at all divisions. And tonight we thought we'd reach out to some of the area high schools and contact a couple of their athletes and have them come in and talk about their high school career. And these young athletes also have plans to play at the next level, which is it's a great testimony to the work they put in over the course of their young lives so far. But we have four of our area's finest student scholars who are going to be blessed and privileged enough, John, to go on to the next level and play on Saturdays.
Look forward to it. We got first on deck is Noah Parker. He's from Fremont. We also have Mark Konecny from Mona Shores, and then we have a pair of Wildcats. We have Tugg Nichols and Hayden McDonald here. So we're going to move them in and out here as the show goes on, and we're looking forward to it. Well, Mike, why don't you bring in our first guest here?
Well, again, our first guest tonight is from Fremont, Michigan, and his name is Noah Parker. And Noah was number 66. Played on the offensive line. Noah, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, get a little closer because I'm telling you, these folks, they're paying money to hear you.
I'm doing pretty good.
You know, the one thing we want to talk about, Noah, is, how old were you when the game of football started to really interest you and you said, I'm going to take this a little more serious than I used to?
Well, I started playing football when I was in first grade. That was not quite my choice, but Dad wanted me to at least try. So that was probably a good thing because it's gotten me a long ways, taught me a few good lessons. I really didn't take it seriously until probably about my sophomore year, which, is a little late, but it...
But, and again, you're in, the youth leagues and everything like that coming up through. Mm-hmm. Were you always an offensive lineman? Did you play defensive line? Or were you a quarterback?
I was never a quarterback, but I was always too big. I had T on my helmet. I was always over whatever it was. I don't know.
You were the one that originated the pancake block. You came with how many pancake blocks did you end up with this year?
About 10 to 15 somewhere.
I saw about that many on Huddle Film.
Mm-hmm.
I saw about that many on the Huddle Film.
Football. Any other sports growing up that you played, Noah?
Growing up, when I was really young, I did soccer. That didn't last very long. I was just too big. I didn't enjoy running around that much.
Right.
I also played baseball, but that's about it.
When you look at when you were starting out playing football, talk to us if you can about the support you had from your mom and dad. Did they encourage athletics in your life and growing up? And how was that? Did you enjoy that?
They encouraged it strongly.
Did they?
Definitely a big part of what they believe. And there were a few years where it was mostly middle school. It was kind of like, I don't really want to, but I'm still going to. I didn't play my 8th grade year, and just like they told me I would regret it, and I did. So then I picked back up freshman year, and I'm glad that they did encourage it, just because the people I've met and the lessons I've learned and how far it's gotten me this.
As far as some of your outside activities, I believe you're active in the FFA. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about that a little bit. How long you been a member of that?
So probably fall of my 8th grade year, they introduced FFA as a new class at the middle school in Fremont, and I had heard about it a little bit from my older sister, who was about 3 years older than me. She graduated when I was a freshman. So I heard about it. I was like, I might as well try it, see if I like it. And that year, we had one team compete in the junior high conduct of meetings, and it's pretty much just running a meeting like you would at a town hall, or you have your president, secretary, all those officer positions. And it really put me out of my comfort zone, trying to, because I've always been a quiet kid.
Yeah.
And so we did that my 8th grade year, and I continued throughout high school and competed freshman year with the same team for the Green Hand, which is just a first-year high school member.
Sure.
And that was still something I wasn't real comfortable with. never been much of a talker. I'm still not. But it was just the opportunities I got through the FFA. Like,
Right.
my advisor, Mr. Smith, he always believed that I could do it, could do whatever I wanted to. And he actually gave me the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. the summer of my freshman year. And for their nationwide, for the National FFA Washington Leadership Conference. So that was also something way out of my comfort zone. Got to go talk to people.
Good, good for you. I think that's a credit.
Yeah.
You're not afraid to get pulled out of your comfort zone and, at least try something. I think, and again, you talk about getting pulled out of your comfort zone. You're not going to be able to walk off the practice field next year and just go have mom cook you dinner. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. If you can, again, your individual accolades this year. Obviously you had a great senior year, good enough, like I said, to get looked at to go on to the next level. Going into your senior year, did you have an idea, what, I feel confident about playing football now, and I do want to make that a part of my future? Had you made that your mind up going into this season, or was it something that happened after the season started, Noah?
It was kind of there, end of my junior year, and what really made me finally set my mind to it was one of my coaches told me that I have to do it for myself and not for anyone else. So if I really wanted to do it, it would have to be for me, not for my parents or my grandparents. As much as they wanted to see me go play at the next level, it was definitely something I decided summer before my senior year.
And I asked this of all athletes. When you look back on your senior year, Noah, and you look back at the games and everything, how did you feel about your consistency and the level of play that you were at throughout the year? Did you stay healthy?
Yes, I did.
That's big.
Which was definitely a big thing, because the past 2-3 years I was having some problems with my knees.
Okay.
But every game I always felt like I could always do better, and I would figure out one thing to work on it throughout the week, and overall throughout the season my playing definitely got better, more consistent with my blocks and my steps, because we changed offenses last year, and with everything not playing then playing, we were a mess last year, my junior year, as a team, because we didn't quite understand, and this year we simplified plays and our steps, and definitely helped with.
Tell us what you enjoy more, run blocking or pass blocking?
I guess it depends. If we've gone all the way down the field, just running the ball, pass play is definitely nice, because it gives me a little bit of a break. And most of the defenses we win against.
Did you hear that, Hayden? Passing plays, he thinks the offensive line gets a break,
Because it was always, if we're going to run, you gotta drive them at 10, 20 yards down.
Oh, yeah.
You don't stop until we
Yeah.
And if you plow them over, you go find someone else to hit and plow over.
Talk to us about you're heading to a pretty interesting college. You've chosen a kind of a neat career. Talk to our folks about that.
So I've decided to go to McPherson College. It's all the way out in Kansas, the middle of nowhere.
And how did you? Again, you got to walk us through that process right there. How did that jump at you, and how did the communication start there?
So, I don't know, about a year or two ago, I was on YouTube watching videos on cars, classic cars. It was actually a Haggerty Insurance video, and they had donated this car to the college to go get as a parts runner. So it was an old wagon, and was like, that seems pretty cool. I've always had a passion for cars. I was like tinkering with things, and
Right.
I knew I wanted to work on cars, but I didn't.
This story's unique because this is new to me.
So I knew I always wanted to work on cars because there's something about them. Turning the wrench was always something fun, and it was. But I didn't know how I could go work on the cool cars. I mean, everything now is plastic. They all look the same.
Right.
But you go back 60s, 50s, 70s, go back to the muscle cars,
Sure.
the GTOs,
Sure.
the Mustangs.
He had one. John had one.
Yeah, my brother did.
Gran Turinos.
Yep.
I want to work on that kind of stuff, and I want to work on stuff that has a story. And because most of these older cars sitting around have some sort of story.
Sure.
Because it's just like my grandpa has one that's been sitting in his shop and it's been in the family. And I also want to help people get those cars back and those memories back and create new ones. So
And McPherson has a curriculum.
yes, so they have a bachelor's in automotive restoration,
That is great.
Yeah.
and I'm the only one like it around, and it's a world-known degree. And they only allow 40 students a year into the program.
Wow. And
You guys will be in the huddle talking about a Ford Mustang body, and your plays will be all around, the different models of cars. That's great.
and there is a football team there, so you're going to be continuing on in football there, right?
Yep, I'll be continuing playing football there.
And so when you go through a program like this and get a degree from there, what are your plans, after you graduate? Do an internship, at some point in time through school, get involved in an internship somewhere?
So there they encourage you to do an internship every summer that you're there. And so those will be paid, and some money will also go towards tuition, which is because they have a student debt project. They cover about a quarter of every dollar you make towards
Nice.
your tuition. But they also have their own projects that they do, and they plan to compete down at Pebble Beach with a old Mercedes. And when I was there, they had just repainted it for about 15th time or something just to get it perfect. But after I graduate from there, I really eventually want to own my own shop. That way I can do what I want and specialize in restoration and customization. I just want to make. I want to bring those.
I got to believe that field's that's a good field to get into. I mean, everything, like you said, everything today is plastic and.
Sure. That's gonna be cool. You're gonna have to look you up in a few years.
Yeah.
Mike's got a car that he drives around now that could be a classic, right?
Yeah, it's only got a couple wheels. No, it's in bad shape. It's in very bad shape. Like me,
Well, man, thanks for stopping in. Anybody you want to give a shout out to out there that might be watching that you're going to catch some grief if you didn't say something about them?
Thank you, coaches. I mean, come on.
I would like to thank all of my coaches I've had from first grade all the way up till now, and I mean half of those years it was my dad. So I mean, even coming home from practice, it was still more football. You never get away from it, which is not a bad thing.
Right.
So my high school coaches influenced my decision to go play.
And were you the best singer on the Fremont football team?
Oh yeah.
I know that. That's what I had heard about you. You were the best singer in the...
We actually had the Fremont football team choir,
There we go.
Wow.
and we just sing on the bus rides. And we get told to shut up
We get pulled over, huh?
Totally shut up.
because we were so bad.
Well, you never know when the national anthem is going to have to be sung, right? You never got to be ready,
We did
right?
have to do that once.
Okay.
One time it was people singing the national anthem.
This always intrigues me about, kids when they leave high school. Is it going to be hard for you to walk away from all the buddies that you grew up with and you have such a close relationship over there in Fremont? And when you go through graduation, 1st of June, your life changes. and it changes a lot more probably than theirs will, because you're the one that's making the step now. You're the one that's taking the big step. So are you ready for that?
I am. I mean, it'll be hard, but I'm not going to get another opportunity like this. And
Right.
throughout high school, it's always been take every opportunity in front of me, and it's gotten me this far.
This is life-changing. And, I can tell you this, too. We got 3 more kids coming up on here, and the toughest thing is to go into college and know right now what you want to do. It's amazing how many kids get into college, and after their first year, I don't know if I want to do that, or second year, or even third year. They change. You have the luxury of saying, I'm going to a school that specializes in exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's great.
I definitely had to work on my own stuff, make sure I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And it was just finding something I was passionate about and running with it.
Sure. Some of us are 61 years old and still don't know what we want to do, so you got a leg up on that. Well, Noah, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it, and good luck to you. Okay.
We hope you're wearing number 66 next year too.
Yeah. Let's hear for Noah. All right.
Noah Parker.
Noah Parker. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with Mark Konecny from Mona Shores. He's on deck here. We'll be back here watching the Power Hour here on CatchMark.
You have a lot of choices when it comes to insurance companies, so let me help you narrow them down. Hi, I'm Jenna Potts, your local Farm Bureau insurance specialist with the Durga Insurance Group. We are a company dedicated to serving only Michigan. We know you, we understand you, we protect you. All of us at the Durga Insurance Group live and work right in this area, so we're always nearby. Local agent, local service, and local savings. Come and see us today or visit our website, durgainsuranceGroup.com, to find out more.
Hey, did you hear? CatchMark offers digital media services. CatchMark Web Services offers website and media content to help grow your business. Our web service team can help you design, develop, and implement custom websites that are search engine optimized. We also produce videos and media presentations that engage and communicate with your target audiences. We define, develop, and execute the most efficient plan to reach your audience. Shoot us a call at 616-384-4616, visit our website at catchmarkit.com, or stop into one of our offices in Grand Rapids or Whitehall.
Van Dyke Mortgage, we started 1987, July of 1987, the company was founded here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We recruited Mario in to join our company as one of our branches to serve the Muskegon community. He has grown to 5 locations, serving people up and down the lake shore.
A lot of companies, they're sometimes in it more for themselves and closing that deal for just the monetary reward. And I think with Mario and his company, it's not just that, and I don't know if that always happens in our world.
And we're back here, John Russell, along with Michael Taylor. It is the Power Hour here at North Grove Brewers. Great to have you along here on this Thursday night. And I want to thank Noah for stopping by here. We had a little bit of correction on the name there, didn't we, Michael?
Oh, I get excited. And everything just, and again, I have Parkinson's, onset Alzheimer's, and there's no excuse for it. I'll be getting a ride home tonight. I know that.
We're gonna get Uber for Mike tonight.
I'm calling him Noah Parker, Parker, and I got a buddy named Noah Parker.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's Baker. Noah.
Yeah, Baker, and I'm like, okay.
Yep. So thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to make it clear. Noah Parker is going out to Kansas next year.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now we're going to be talking to Mark Smith of Mona Shores.
Mark Smith, yeah. Welcome, Mark Smith.
Mark Konecny of Mona Shores, quarterback, and welcome aboard, Mark.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I haven't seen you this happy in a couple months. We're healthy.
Yeah, I know it's been a little bit of a struggle, but I'm doing good.
You talk about your career, Mark. You talk about a quarterback with unbelievable amount of talent. He gets put in the worst situation in America because you have to play behind the Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Okay, and in every other high school in the state, you're playing as a junior.
Right.
That's life, huh?
Yeah. I just gotta keep your head down and move through it.
Well, and let's go back a little bit in your career, Mark. You did not grow up around here.
Yeah.
You know, walk us through your travels to get back here to Mona Shores.
Like you said, I was originally from Michigan. I was from Colorado. I lived there till I was 13 years old. And my dad being a Mona Shores native, you know, he always wanted to get back to his Michigan roots, as he called it. So, I mean, it took us a little bit convincing. You know, I visited Michigan almost every summer, you know, going up to Portage Lake because we owned a rental house up there. But then once I got down to Muskegon and hung out with some of the guys, I kind of realized it was like the place I wanted to be. And it was like, I just kind of felt like home.
Your dad, of course, played some pro football, and so was that pressure on you at all, or how did you handle it? I know we had your dad on the show here, and it sounded great. It sounded like it was one of those things. If you wanted to do it, you could. It didn't sound like there was a lot of pressure with that. But did you put pressure on yourself?
Not so much. I mean, he was always there supporting me in anything I did. I mean, I've tried a wide variety of sports, and he always was wanting the best for me and whatever I chose to do. I mean, yeah, like I'm sure he wanted me to play football growing up, you know, coming from his background, but he just helped me out the best he could in whatever I wanted to do.
What kind of pressure does that put on you? You know, knowing, even if he did not push it on you, you know your father played professional football, you know, and when your friends find that out, now he becomes a legend.
Right.
Automatically. It goes with territory. And then they look to you thinking automatically, well, because your father played, you automatically are going to fall in love with the sport and want to follow his footsteps. Do you feel that pressure?
Not really. I mean, he did a really good job of just kind of going behind my back and just, you know, like supporting me whatever I wanted to do. So, like, as a young age, if it was whether it was baseball or hockey, basketball or football, you know, he was going to be my biggest support, and he was going to, you know, help me accomplish what I wanted to do.
And that's a great point too. You weren't just football specific. You were, that's the IRS mic. I think we're in trouble here. But you were not sports specific. I mean, you played different sports, so you were able to try to figure out what it was that you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've almost tried every sport out there other than a few. But I mean, yeah, I just, you know, doing what I like. I've always liked sports, no matter if it was just going out and playing rec basketball or just having like a wiffle ball tournament in my backyard with some friends. I mean, ultimately, like, football is what I wanted to take seriously, and I've kind of dedicated the later half of my life so far to football.
Wow. And, you know, you get with a group of guys at Mona Shores, and it's a tight-knit group. I mean, you know, you could just tell when you watch Mona Shores football that you guys genuinely care about each other as friends, you know, and, you know, what did those friendships mean to you, you know, as it's getting closer to June and you're walking away from everybody?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that in just a couple of months I'm going to be gone. And I mean, it's not even going to forget any of these friendships, but I have to, like, walk away from them and, like, you know, start my next chapter in my life. But I mean, these group of guys, the seniors last year and the seniors this year, I mean, I don't think I've been closer to many more people than that. I mean, just the bond that we've developed over the past 4 years, I mean, it's been second to none.
Well, and again, to all the high school women out there watching, high school girls watching this show tonight, feel free to contact any 4 of these gentlemen for prom, okay? They are all currently free agents. And if not, they will be, you know.
And Shores, I tell you, Coach done a great job bringing that program on. You're a part of state championship teams over there. You had 2 state championship teams in a row. What were those rides like for you?
I mean, it was a crazy experience, you know, from like when I first knew about Shores and knew they had a short playoff history and, you know, things were just starting to get the ball rolling. But I mean, I guess I was at the right place at the right time because that's when things started to really, like, kick up. I mean, the journey is incredible, you know, going into late November and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And getting 5 extra weeks of practice and, you know, experiencing going to a hotel in Detroit and spending the night with your teammates and waking up and playing for a state championship to win it all. I mean, it's crazy, and it's a surreal experience.
You know, the thing that's people, it's really, you know, after being involved in the business for a while, as a coach, you get put behind the 8 ball somewhat because athletes to go to Division I schools are usually recruited from their, you know, because they played varsity football, started as a 10th grader, 11th grader, and usually by their 11th grade year, they've got it narrowed down to a couple of schools. The bad situation with you is you were limited until you could get on the field until your senior year.
Right.
So you basically, in my opinion, go under the radar, okay? And so now you're trying to put together a career in your senior season. So a lot of people missed out on a great opportunity to get a diamond in the rough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I believe
okay?
so too.
I feel very good about where you've decided to go and play. Talk to us about how that came about.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just came in really late. I mean, I wasn't expecting too much to happen. I didn't really have too much contact with Western until a few weeks before signing day. But I just called down to the weight room one day with one of their GAs was there, and he introduced himself, and they offered me a preferred walk-on. And I couldn't pass up on that opportunity to go play at one of the highest levels possible. So it was I'm really thankful that happened, and it was a very exciting opportunity for me to go pursue.
I'll tell you what, and again, have you been down to campus yet?
Not yet.
You have no clue what you're in for when you see that facility. It is unbelievable. I'd put it up against any Big Ten school out there. Okay, the facilities that they have now, and the stadium, and the weight room, and the practice facility is indoors, and it's just state of the art. And they, they've done a great job, Coach Lester, with that program.
Right.
You're going to bowl games every year, and the educational part. How about, have you decided, Mark, what you we know what Noah's going into? Do you know now at this point what you want to study?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to study exercise science, and that'll be my major at college. I want to be a strength coach, or I at least want to stay around the game of football, whether that's being a strength coach or, coaching at some day. But yeah, exercise science for sure.
And I tell you, going to Western, there's quite a lineage of Mona Shores players that went on. Asante Brown was over there. Of course, Coach Koziak was alum of there as well. So that's so I'm sure they're doing nothing but encouraging you to be a Bronco, right?
Yeah, Coach K was pretty excited that I'm going to Western, and Damari Robertson down there is a safety for them. He's pretty excited that I'm coming, and he's reached out to me a little bit.
Yeah, what's he say about this?
He's on the defensive side of the ball, so he just kind of told me to be ready because he's coming. But it's cool to know that I have connections down there, and I already established some friendships.
Oh my gosh, it'll happen so quick. And like in Noah's case, your case, and the Montague brothers here, it's the fraternity is unbelievable that you guys are going to grow into, and whether it's connections for jobs. Just the networking through being associated with a college football program is unbelievable.
Right.
And another thing that you guys all have in common here that we didn't speak with Noah about, but you guys are like Team COVID. I mean, you guys had to go through something that none of us could really even relate to, the stops and the goes and the stops. And through all of that, you guys and also the Montague folks that we'll be talking to were able to not only succeed but win a state championship through that. Kind of walk us through, if you can, what that whole year was like, from school virtual at times and all of that. It just had to be an unreal experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely really weird to go live through that. I mean, having school end in March and then just having to be do virtual Zoom meetings with the team and not really be able to work out or go through our perfect 13 we did in this March. I mean, it was weird. It was really weird. And so throughout the summer, we were lifting in a pole barn at a friend's house, and then we got into the season. I think that's when things started to clear up, and we thought we were going to be good. And for it to get canceled again, I think it was a week or two right before Game 1. That was really unfortunate. And obviously everyone was bummed out, but I mean we kind of just went back to our off-season grind, and we just kept on working until we were finally able to get cleared again. I mean, and then I think it was after week 2 or 3 in the playoffs getting canceled again and having another couple months off. And starting back up in January, that was really weird. And on top of that, with the testing every day, having some kids having to quarantine and go get professional tests done. I mean, it was definitely a struggle, but I mean, it just shows the kind of heart that we had as a team and kind of sorry, I fumbling a little bit, but just showed us really what we were capable of doing.
Yeah, and I mean, just the fact that how was Coach Koziak, the coaching staff, and even you guys able to stay together during all that? Like you said, you had stops and starts, and you had times where they had to be distanced from one another and all of that. How did that all work out?
I mean, I just remember in early January we were playing just the guys just playing 7-on-7 in the snow, trying to do something, without the coaches there, just to have fun and stay a little bit more conditioned than we probably should have been. But just like team camaraderie stuff around outside of like organized sports by the coaches, it just kind of kept us going.
The atmosphere on game day at Mona Shores is pretty special.
Yeah.
How did that affect your play, knowing you've got 5,000 people cheering for you?
Right. I mean, it was crazy to have that many people behind us and like supporting us, especially on like the Sailor Salute game when we had the stands and all the first responders and our forces there. I mean, it just gives you a little bit more motivation to play for them and know that the outcome of the game also affects them in a way. So just more motivation, I'd say.
Is there a lot of pressure on a state championship team?
Oh yeah,
going
sure.
back the next year.
Yeah, especially back to back. There's a lot of pressure from the media and from like outside sources. But I mean, we had to stay in our own kind of bubble, I guess, and not get like too high on the highs and too low on our lows.
I tell you what, you had a great year, and we're, like I said, we're so proud to have you for student athletes on here tonight and talk about your careers and your futures, and just to congratulate you on everything you guys have accomplished. And
thank you.
Like I said, the future is so bright for you guys.
It really
it's
is.
so bright.
Any shout outs out there for you?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to my parents and to my high school coaches and Coach Van Dyke and Danny Welke, my personal quarterback coaches. I mean, they've helped me tremendously off the field, training and getting me as like a talented quarterback as I am. So it's pretty much those people and my friends and teammates, of course.
At any time, did you ever lose your composure as a quarterback on the field? Start yelling at someone or get mad at an official, or
I mean, no, I didn't really show too many emotions playing in high school. I remember as a little kid, I got pretty flustered when things went bad.
Sounds like my first marriage.
Well, Mark, thanks for spending some time with us. We appreciate it, and appreciate your dad for coming back here too. So.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
All right,
and wear that T-shirt proud.
I will.
You wear that and be proud, because a lot of people watch you.
I will.
Mark Konecny, folks.
Give him a hand.
We will take a break, and we will come back with Hayden McDonald and Tugg Nichols from Montague. You're watching Power Hour on CatchMark.
So once I started brewing, I fell in love with the industry, the people of the industry, and just how craft beer brings people together. The community has really accepted us, and really we made this place to create our clubhouse pretty much, where we want to hang out and we have the beers we want to drink and the stuff we want to do, and we really hope that the community would just be of that same mindset and want to come here too and have fun, and they sure have.
Hello, this is Dmitry, the Russian hacker. Please disregard the following message from CatchMark Technologies. It will make my life easier. Thank you.
If you own a business today, that business is exposed to digital risk. Data privacy, compliance, and of course, cyber attack risks are just a few that you may need to manage. If you don't have the staff or internal expertise to help mitigate risks your organization faces, call CatchMark Technologies at 616-384-4616.
You have a lot of choices when it comes to insurance companies, so let me help you narrow them down. Hi, I'm Jenna Potts, your local Farm Bureau insurance specialist with the Durga Insurance Group. We are a company dedicated to serving only Michigan. We know you, we understand you, we protect you. All of us at the Durga Insurance Group live and work right in this area, so we're always nearby. Local agent, local service, and local savings. Come and see us today or visit our website, durgainsuranceGroup.com, to find out more.
And we are back. John Russell along with Mike Taylor. Again, want to thank Noah Baker, and want to thank Mark Konecny for stopping on in. And now we're going to be talking with Tugg Nichols and Hayden McDonald. Welcome aboard, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, I want to start this one out. It's not very often we bring a couple athletes on here and say, God, we wish you guys would have had a better career. You guys have accomplished so much in your careers at Montague that, the wins just kept coming, and you guys kept working and regrouping and overcoming injuries and everything. So, what a ride for you guys. What a ride for you. And then your senior year, you go through a major change in the coaching staff and what that was like. First off, we're going to back up, John.
Sure.
And talk to us about what ages you guys were at when you started playing the game of football and your background, you know, how you got involved in the game.
I didn't start playing like real football until about 8th grade. My parents didn't really want me to play when I was super young, which I appreciate them for that. But I've always been watching football my entire life. My dad got me into the sport, and I really appreciate him for doing that for me.
How about you, Tugg?
Well, I started playing football in like 1st grade in the Pee Wees, and I've stuck with it since then. I've always loved the game of football. Growing up with my stepdad, he's a really big Lions fan, so every Sunday we'd sit and watch the Lions.
Oh, you've seen him mad on Sundays then?
Yeah, I've seen him mad a few times. But I just kept playing, and I loved it every year that I played. So.
And Hayden, with your dad being a coach, obviously had some success, won a state championship over at Orchard View. I found it kind of interesting that you said that they really didn't necessarily want you to play football at a young age. That's kind of interesting. You might have almost thought it would be kind of the opposite with your dad being a coach, but maybe because he was a coach, he knew the pitfalls, I guess, huh?
Yeah. I think it was just like more of a safety thing more than anything, but once 8th grade rolled around, he let me play, and I never looked back.
Talk to us about your time at, we'll start with you, Hayden, here at Montague. I mean, you came up as a freshman, right?
I did, for the playoffs.
And yeah, come up for the playoffs. So the first year, you guys go to the state finals. What's that like, being a freshman and on a team that's going to the state finals eventually?
It was super fun. Just cheering on all the upperclassmen and everyone that was playing. I think I came in for one play near the end of the game and got my butt kicked. But, yeah, it was just a really good
Great
experience.
memory.
Yeah.
Great memory, Hayden.
Yeah. It was a really good experience, and I had a lot of fun.
Now, you play both sides of the ball, right? You were offensive lineman, obviously, and on the defensive side, too, right?
Yeah, both sides, yep.
Yeah. And then the second year, you guys go and have a game you don't want to talk about. You had a great year, but you play that semifinal game. We called that one, and that was just a devastating one. That's one that really got away from you, where you thought, well, we should have had another appearance at a state final. That just had to rip your heart out, didn't it?
Yeah. Being up by 14 in that game with about 5 minutes left and giving up the lead, going to overtime and ending up losing. It's not a good experience, but we bounced back the next year and came out and won the state title, so I'm really happy about that.
Was the mindset of you guys after that loss, how was it in the locker room? I mean, and your approach to the off-season workout?
We definitely ramped up the intensity when that happened. We put a picture of, I think it was me and a couple other Montague players sitting on the field after the loss to Glen Lake, just being really disappointed in ourselves. And we looked at that picture every single day before we went to practice. And we really went out there, worked hard, and got it done.
Now, Tugg, did you always, did you play any other positions other than running back or?
Yeah, so my first 3 years of playing in the Pee Wees, I was actually an offensive tackle. And I was really small. I should not have been there. I got ran over pretty much every game. We couldn't run the ball to the right side because I couldn't block anybody. And then in middle school, I actually played quarterback and fullback 7th and 8th grade year. And then after that, they switched me to running back at high school freshman year. And then I ended up getting stuck at slot, and then that's where I stayed since then.
Now, you actually, you got hurt. And tell us about that, how you deal with that.
I actually got hurt a couple times this year. Game 1 against Edwardsburg, I got knocked out. I got the ball thrown a little too far out, got led, and I got hit by the corner pretty hard. And I got called with a concussion. So that was hard. Game 1, just sitting out for the rest of the game. It was in like the second quarter. So I didn't play much, and I wasn't allowed to practice for a couple days because I didn't clear it yet. And then the Whitehall game, rolled my ankle pretty bad and tried to go back out, and I re-rolled it again. And that nothing sucks more than to watch you guys just come back, tie up 14-14, get hurt, and then not be out there for my last ever game against Whitehall.
You know, Tugg, when you guys are, you know, you got to look at it like, you know, athletes, 98% of them are hardcore type A personalities. When you get dinged up like that, is your instinct, I can still play. I want to get out there and give it a shot.
Yeah, 100%. I've always been growing up on my parents telling me, like, you can be hurt after the game. You know, you got to go back in. You got to deal with it. So I've always been the get back up, try to go back out, and if you can't do it then you got to just be done. Because then you're going to hurt your team if you're still out there trying to play.
You know, it's one thing to physically come back from injury, but there's also a mental process with that too, because probably you're trying to get it out of the back of your mind a little bit too. Is that fair to say that you got to kind of overcome not only the physical ailment that you have, but also mentally get yourself back into it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, after you get hurt, there's always that thought, you know, I might hurt myself again, because especially when you roll an ankle, it takes one wrong step and boom, you roll it again. So you're always thinking about it, but you got to just kind of mind over matter and stick to, I'm just going to play.
You know, you guys go through something that most high school athletes don't have to, and that is you win a state championship your junior year. A few weeks later, you have no coaching staff, okay? What happened? I mean, how did you guys deal with all of a sudden, here's this coaching staff that has been together for a long time there. You know, the program is so solid, okay? Did that catch you guys off guard when Coach Collins decided to leave?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we were all talking to him about next year and about how we were going to work just as hard as we did our junior year, and that we were going to go back to back. And we were talking about him. He was telling us that he thinks we can do it. And then 2 weeks later, after that conversation, he resigned. And we all understood that it was going to be his time to go because Drew was leaving, and he wanted to watch Drew play college football. But it's hard to go through with these guys your entire high school career and then just to lose them. And
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't. You know, it'd be like, you know, just one day, you know, one of your parents walks out. Like, where are you going?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
How about for you, Hayden? Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, it was definitely really hard for him to leave, but we know it was the right decision for him. And I think Coach Dennett, when he came in, he did a really great job with picking up where he left off. And
were you guys open with, you know, okay, we're getting a new coach, we're going to make this work. We're going to make it work.
We definitely were. We knew it was going to be a challenge, but we rallied together as a team, and the coaching staff came together, and we ended up having a really good season. So I think we did a good job.
And your dad was on the coaching staff too, so that kind of helped. I mean, I know some coaches left as well, but there was a good core of coaches, so there was some familiarity with you guys and the coaching staff, so that had to help with the transition, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely did. Our defensive coordinator left, and my dad came in and kind of took over the defensive line and really helped a lot with all of that. And Coach Panetta also came in to help with the linebackers and the DBs. And we had a really good season altogether, so I think we did a great job.
Well, I was going to say, well, then you come back with Coach Dennett, the very first game, and you're playing a team that is an awesome team. I mean, you knew that going in, but something happens to you guys that, I mean, it was a one-sided loss, and that doesn't happen to Montague, even though that is a team that everybody knew was going to be solid, and you had the new coach coming in and all that type of stuff. How did you guys process that? We'll take it for first you, Hayden, and then you, Tugg.
Yeah, it was definitely a kick to the face when that happened to us. We thought it was going to be a better game than it was, but we had some opportunities to make it closer, but we just didn't capitalize. So next week we came back, we went through film and what to do to get better, and we practiced on it, and we did a great job.
How about you, Tugg?
Yeah, kind of like what Hayden said. It was really an eye-opener for us, because coming off that state championship, we thought we were unbeatable. We didn't lose a game last year, so I mean, we thought we were unbeatable. We didn't work as hard as we probably should have in the off season, and then once we got beat by Edwardsburg, 38-zip.
Did you underestimate your opponent?
No, we knew they were going to be good.
Okay.
But we just thought we were better, and they just put in more work than we did. So our captains, me, Dylan, and Haybill, got together, and we decided we're going to turn this around, and we're going to start winning football games.
And that's so important that, and I've talked when Pat was here, and certainly Coach Dennett when he's here now, about you guys, about the guys taking ownership in that, like the captains, the leaders of the team. I mean, it's one thing for coaches to huddle everybody up and kind of chew on you or whatever, but for you guys to take the initiative, I mean, they obviously had to be proud of that, and that actually just makes the team even more solid, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, with us being able to get up and correct these younger classmen, our fellow peers, it really brings the bond together as a team, so then we all have expectations for each other and everybody executes.
And
go ahead.
And there's only so much that coaches can do. The players, the leaders really need to step up to encourage all the juniors and the underclassmen to really work hard.
You need to be on a board of education. You get it. You get it. You get it. Your coaches are teachers, okay, and their job is to put you in position, the best position to be successful, and you got to make plays. You got to make plays. Looking back on your careers at Montague High School, not what was your best game, what was your favorite game? Your favorite game that you played in. It doesn't have to be a state championship game.
I think my favorite game personally was Central Montcalm, the first game in the playoffs this year. I don't know, it was just the atmosphere, and getting 3 sacks kind of helps with that too. Getting to celebrate after getting those, making those plays really helps.
How about you, Tugg?
I'd say either the Muskegon Catholic game last year as a junior, probably that game is my favorite. Going there, it was like 20 degrees outside. Everybody was freezing cold. None of us had shirts on underneath our pads and everything. And that was supposed to be the state championship before the state championship is what everybody was calling it. So that was just a fun game.
What a week of building it up that game that was. I mean, there was media everywhere at that. That was like the best game in the state that night. Oh, yeah. That was great.
Well, to talk to us about life after high school here, we'll start with you. Hayden, you're going to Hillsdale College, right?
Yeah. I'm going to Hillsdale. I'm going to be studying sports management and a minor in physical education. I think I'm going to do kind of like what Mark said and be a strength and conditioning coach. That's really something I'm passionate about, is being in the weight room and doing that and making other kids stronger and better is really important to me.
When you say that, and we got the 4 of you here, how important, do you see strength training in high school at this point in time? Back in the day, I would always tell my kids, the number one reason you lift weights is to tighten up the joints in the body, strengthen up the joints, because 98% of your injuries in football in high school are joints, okay? How do you see strength and conditioning right now, especially the strength area? How important is that for high school athletes?
It's super important. If you don't get in the weight room as a team, you're not going to win any games. That's just how it works. They're just going to, other teams are going to overpower you and just destroy you. So you have to get in the weight room, get stronger. You have to also get more flexible too. Flexibility is another really important part of that. It's just super important for the team.
And then, Tugg, I know you might be taking a little bit of a different track here. I mean, we always assume that somebody's going to go on and play college football somewhere. That might happen, that might not happen. In your case, you're looking at maybe getting into the trades and an apprenticeship program. If that's the case, did you maybe even know that as you were playing like your final football game, and maybe that I mean, I guess the finality of that would hit you a little bit more than maybe Hayden, who's got, you know, a college career for sure coming on, and he's going to be playing some more football. You don't necessarily know if you're going to. I mean, did you have to reconcile that a little bit in your mind?
Honestly, the answer to that question was, did I think about it in the last game? No, I didn't. I just felt I wanted to win. I just wanted to keep winning and keep playing with them.
The last game came too early, right?
Well, you're a captain.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about after high school. I didn't make my decision to probably go do an apprenticeship until like a month ago, maybe.
Okay. So no, I think that's an excellent decision.
It's tough when you're seniors and you're going, I guess my parents are looking at me to make a decision here. What you should have come out, Tugg, and told everybody, I'm getting married.
Nope, I don't want to do that, actually. Nope, I'm good.
Plenty of time for that, huh?
Plenty of time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where we went wrong.
That's exactly. One of the many things that we did wrong. But as you look back through your careers, I mean, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, but the bond between not only you guys here, but you kind of went into that when you said we had that team meeting and, hey, guys, we got to take care of this. I mean, you got some friendships here that hopefully you'll be able to keep for a lifetime, but we all know that we grow up and we grow apart a little bit. But talk to us about those friendships and those bonds that you have with these guys.
Yeah, friendships are just super important to me. Making those relationships with everyone. After our last game, I bursted out in tears, and so many people rallied around me, joined me, and sorry. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss it a lot. Playing with those guys.
A lot of memories.
A lot of memories.
Hey, I mean, when you think about it, 99% of them are fantastic, great memories.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
How about you, Tugg?
It's definitely gonna be hard missing all of these guys. I mean, growing up with them. I mean, with the exception of Haybell since 8th grade. Yeah. But I mean, I've still grown up with them. We've all been super close, and now that it's all like coming to an end pretty quick here, it's hard to like wrap my head around it. But I know we're all pretty close, and we'll probably all still stay in touch. So
you know, with social media today, do you guys see yourself staying in touch with each other for a long time here? It doesn't matter where you guys go, you know, in the planet. We got a group that's going to stay in touch. You know, we'll be getting together and we'll be talking quite often, and you know that'll happen.
And you got a championship ring to remind you as well, Mark as well. So that's going to be very, very cool too. So, no, I'll tell you, it's great to seeing you guys and watching you guys play for all those years. Now, Tugg, you're still in basketball, so you're still playing. So you got something. Is there another sport after basketball, or are you going to be doing something in the spring?
Yeah, I also play baseball.
Okay. And you said you might be doing some baseball?
Hayden's a gymnast.
I'm playing baseball too.
Hayden's a gymnast.
I'm actually doing pole vault. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Pole vaulter. You know, athletes are funny people, okay? My question is, do you guys have any superstitions? You know, like, I'm going to eat this before the game. I'm going to wear this. I always dress and I wear this or put this sock on first, or you any superstitions like that I do this every game.
I always have to take my pregame nap. It gets me good energy before the game, and I don't know, it gets me ready.
No go-to food. I mean.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna eat. You know.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You, Tugg?
Yeah, I actually have a few. So for football, I always got dressed the exact same way every time. I always went home and took a nap, like Haybell said. And I always had to play one song on the speaker before we went out. And then every time I played it, we ended up winning. And the couple times that we didn't end up doing it, we lost. So.
What was the song?
You know, I'm pretty sure it was the DMX Where the Hood At. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm pretty sure that's the one we played almost every time.
That's the same one you listened to before the show.
Exactly,
Yeah.
It wasn't opera or anything like that, I think, right?
Had a different name, Tugg. Had a different name.
Right. Well, we did this with everybody else. How about you guys as far as shout-outs? First, you, Hayden.
First off, I'd like to thank God for putting me in this situation. I like to also thank my parents and all the coaches that helped me through this. My friends for cheering me on and everyone else. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my coaches that helped me become the player that I became. I'd like to thank my parents, especially my stepdad. He pushed me harder than anybody else did. All my friends and my friends' families and stuff, they also gave me positive encouragement to keep pushing through when stuff got hard. And
You guys had a great run. I tell you, high school athletes would die to have the careers and the experience you guys have had. And and we get to see you guys as fans. We get to call your games and announce and broadcast, but understand something, you guys provide the best entertainment in the world, okay? Because to see you guys go out and practice as hard as you do and train and then play at a level that high, we get to announce and broadcast it, but we enjoy it because it's the best entertainment, It's the absolute best entertainment to watch. So we commend you.
And you guys are all good guys, and that makes it easy, so we appreciate that. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Best of luck to you, okay?
All right, thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
That's Hayden McDonald and also Tugg Nichols.
Tugg Nichols.
Well, Michael, I think that's going to do it for us. Put a wrapper on this one, huh?
And fellas, why we got you up here, did the teams you want win in the Super Bowl?
What?
Did you? Were you happy with the Super Bowl game?
I was happy because Matthew Stafford got a ring.
There we go.
I was happy.
Your father-in-law was probably happy.
Yeah,
because Stafford.
I was happy that Tom Brady didn't win another Super Bowl again. So.
Billy Mann is sharing that one on here. We want to thank Bill for being our producer and engineer as well. So I guess that's
a lot of fun. A lot of fun tonight, John.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Hand for Hayden McDonald and for Tugg Nichols.
Tugg Nichols.
All the guys.
All of the fellas.
That's going to do it for us, Mike. I think we've done enough damage here tonight.
We've seen our duty, and we did it.
Yeah, we certainly did. So that's going to do it for us here at North Grove Brewers. I want to thank those folks for their hospitality, and we'll do it again next week. I think we're going to have Athletic Director Marty McDermott of Muskegon Community College as our special guest next week here on the Power Hour. For Billy Mann, Mike Taylor, the whole gang here, I'm John Russell. Have a good night, everybody.
Nice job.
You have a lot of choices when it comes to insurance companies, so let me help you narrow them down. Hi, I'm Jenna Potts, your local Farm Bureau insurance specialist with the Durga Insurance Group. We are a company dedicated to serving only Michigan. We know you, we understand you, we protect you. All of us at the Durga Insurance Group live and work right in this area, so we're always nearby. Local agent, local service, and local savings. Come and see us today or visit our website, durgainsurancegroup.com, to find out more.
Hey, did you hear? CatchMark offers digital media services. CatchMark Web Services offers website and media content to help grow your business. Our web service team can help you design, develop, and implement custom websites that are search engine optimized. We also produce videos and media presentations that engage and communicate with your target audiences. We define, develop, and execute the most efficient plan to reach your audience. Shoot us a call at 616-384-4616, visit our website at catchmarkit.com, or stop into one of our offices in Grand Rapids or Whitehall.